What is going on, guys? Everett 13. We are already 5 days into 2023. Actually, today's almost over, so we're almost 6 days into it. But this is the first chance that I've had to put together a kind of top knives of 2022 video. And so, before the year starts to get away from us, I want to go ahead and get this out there because, who knows what 2023 is going to bring. So this is going to kind of serve as a shot of the collection, and then also kind of where I'm at on all of these knives as of at least the beginning of the year 2023, end of the year 2022, however you want to look at that. So real quick, what I've done here is I've got 17 knives here, and I've kind of got these in an order, kind of in an ordered list of, top knives to least favorite knives. Now, I want to say that every one that you see in front of you, I think is a good knife, right? I don't think any of these are bad at all, but some of these I very much prefer over others. And so what I'm going to do is just real quick, try to knock this out. So number 16 is going to be the ZT-0560. Okay, this is a nice knife. I just don't carry it as much as everything else here. So that's going to be number 16. Or 17 rather, if you will. Number 15 is going to be this Paramilitary 2. Paramilitary 2, it's a good classic knife, all there is to know. I mean, it's a classic. This is a classic knife. There's not much to say here other than this is a crew wear Paramilitary 2, coming in at number 15 on my list. And the reason why I said 15 is I'm kind of counting these two as one. I mean, I probably shouldn't, but fine, we'll call it 16, whatever, it doesn't matter. Chavez is going to be next. Chavez 229. This is the Blood HQ exclusive in micarta with a black blade. Very nice knife. I just tend to gravitate more towards everything else that you see here. Up next is going to be the ProTech S&G. ProTech S&G, of course, is the only auto that you see on the table. I kind of went heavy-handed on the review of this knife, and I've now actually come to appreciate the design a little bit more. So if you watch this video and you've seen the other video of the S&G, I went a little heavy-handed on it. Like I said, I have come to appreciate this design a little bit more. So that's going to be the next knife. All right, so up next, XM24. Again, another very nice knife. Now, there's fixing to be a common theme here with the next two or three. They're just a little bit bigger. Now, I tend to prefer large knives. I've got size large hands. But I also, at the same time, I work in an office setting. So knives about this size don't tend to carry as well in a pair of slacks. They do fine in jeans, but whenever you're in a pair of khaki slacks or dress pants, they just don't seem to carry as well. And so that's why the XM24 is next. Like I said, common theme. Go ahead and get these out of the way. The Medford 187, again, another nice knife, but another big knife, big heavy knife. Like I said, I really like all of these, but that, again, the office setting and then just the size and weight of this, it doesn't find itself in my pocket as much as everything else that you see here. And then, of course, like I said, common theme, Strider SMF is going to be next here. Again, very nice knife. I really like it. I carry it a lot on the weekends, but as far as a daily EDC, because of its size and because of, like I said, working in an office setting, I just don't get to carry those past three as much. Now, moving right along. So this one is going to be the Sebenza Box Elder. And this is going to be, I guess, technically would be probably number, where are we at here? Number 9 on the list. So Sebenza Box Elder, just a typical stonewash S45 drop point blade, right? Beautiful knife, but I reach for these other guys more than this one. So that's going to be this large Sebenza Box Elder. Okay, up next. This may surprise a lot of folks that it's this high on the list, but this little Medford Smooth Criminal. I don't know what it is about this knife. I don't know if it's the button lock, the size. I just carry this thing a lot. I find myself throwing it in the pocket a whole bunch, more than you would probably think considering everything else that's on the table, right? But I do actually carry this knife a lot, and I enjoy, using it and fidgeting with it, honestly. So that's going to be the Medford Smooth Criminal. Okay, Strider SNG. I love this knife. This knife has actually made me come to appreciate the SNG design. I showed you a ProTech SNG previously, and like I said, I did go a little heavy-handed on that review. And now, after having some experience with the design a little bit more, as you can see, I have used this thing. You can maybe see some marks on the blade and stuff there. But I've come to really realize that a lot of the issues I had were not so much design-related issues as they were just the pure and simple fact that I prefer a manual operated knife over an automatic knife. So, yeah, ProTech SNG. What number would this be? Let's see, number 6. Now, this was previously and up to about middle of the year, this was my number 1 most carried knife, but now it's going to be number 6 with everything else that's left on the table, of course, coming in the top 5 spot. So XM18, great knife. In fact, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but I mean, I've carried this thing so much that I'm kind of starting to wear the ano down a little bit. You can see it's maybe darker in some areas, a little bit lighter in others. This area back here is almost silver. But yeah, Hinder XM18, it's a great knife, great design. Carry this one a lot. Number 6. Number 5, Chris Reeve Omnumzon. Great knife. Anytime I'm gonna be doing something and I need a tank of a knife and something that I don't mind gets a few scuffs or something on it, this is the one I'm gonna reach for. You can see it's got scuffs on it, and I kind of think it just adds to the character. This thing is, since I've got it, I have found myself carrying it a lot. In fact, like I said, this XM18 used to be number 1. This was a big reason that this got kicked out of the top 5, is this knife right here. Of course, it's an Omnumzon. Not much more to say other than that. Great knife, great design, and I really do like it in this Tonto configuration. It's a big, beefy folder, hard to use folder, and I just feel like the Tonto version lends itself to more hard use, which I think fits the design philosophy of the Omnumzon perfectly. So, Chris Reeve Omnumzon, number 5. Number 4, Slim Midi. Like I said earlier, office setting. Well, you know what? This knife is a full-size knife that does not weigh a whole lot. It's slim, as the name suggests. And yeah, it disappears kind of in the pocket. It's got a little bit of character to it too. This one here is in S90V steel. In fact, it's the only knife I have in S90V. And I really do enjoy that steel as well. Holds an edge really well. Again, Tonto. Yeah, this one would be number 4, I believe, checking my list. And yeah, I know it looks like I can't count because there's still 4 there, but that's because these two are the same. So Slim Midi, number 4. Number 3, what's it going to be? So number 3 of this group here is going to be the Sebenza Bog Oak with Damascus blade. Absolute joy to carry. And going back to, I know I've said it multiple times, working in an office setting, this one also has a little bit of class to it too with that Damascus blade. The Bog Oak is just a real nice combination. You've got some gold accents here. This thing is a very, very, like a gentleman's folder, a modern gentleman's folder. And, I find myself carrying this one a whole lot. It's a Chris Reeve Sebenza. What more is there to say, right? Number 3. So number 2. Number 2 is actually going to be either one of the Spartan Hardsies. Monkey Edge frag pattern, right? And the LT exclusive Warthog. There's just something about this knife. It's got the right amount of you know, flashiness to it with some of these colors. It's comfortable. I really feel like it disappears in the pocket given its size. It is a bigger knife, but I think it carries very well. You know, and I have really, really enjoyed the way that these have broken in. These have been both of these are some of the smoothest knives I have on washers. And I've never taken these apart or anything. They have just broken in so nicely and become so smooth. These are great knives, got a little bit of flash to them, you know, a little bit of character, and I just really enjoy these. I always seem to get a lot of comments about these knives, questions, compliments, you know, because they are very nice looking, and for most people, they're not something that they're used to seeing, you know. So number 2, which of course that leaves number 1, the number 1 spot to the Les George VECP. In Damascus. Now this one is my most recent acquisition. I got this during the DLT 12 Days of Christmas event. I think this was like day number 11, I believe. Since I have received this knife on December 12th, this has been pretty much the only knife I've carried since receiving this. I've carried this knife almost a month straight without throwing any of the other knives that you've seen before you in my pocket. You know, that's saying something. You've seen the knives that I've had here on the table. They're a lot of very nice knives, but this one here, there's just so much that is done right on it. The weight, the action, I mean, that is on washers, guys. This thing is just, you know, it's got the right amount of class with that Damascus blade, and then the stonewash handle. You know, you can use this thing too, right? You can use this thing and it's going to look nice. It's going to look nice doing it. I just can't say enough good things about this. And like I said, this is on washers. Look at this. That is crazy. Like, that is just as good of action as some of my other knives that are on bearings. I am so thoroughly impressed with this knife that I wish I would have got a VECP sooner. So yeah, guys, that's it. Les George VECP coming in at number 1 for my 2022 knives, or beginning of 2023 collection. However you want to think of it, this is the knife that takes the cake for me. So yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think. Would you have something different in the list? Would there be something else different? Number 1, is there a knife I need to add to the list, add to the collection? Let me know in the comments section. Look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. As always, guys, stay sharp.